Whenever someone says the truth, we tease them by saying they are behaving like Harishchandra. How did Harishchandra become so famous? Harishchandra was a king who was known for his integrity, commitment, and for keeping his word. That's one of the greatest qualities of a king. To do what he says, and this comes up repeatedly in his story. He was such a Satyavadi that even Indra was scared of him. In Swarglok, they wanted to see how far he would go for truth. Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm reading book Devlok with Devdutt Patnayak ji. And today I started reading part 26, Harishchandra. So let's continue. Vishwamitra decided to test his integrity. Vishwamitra is doing a tap for Siddhi Prapti in the forest when Harishchandra interrupts him while on a hunt. What is the meaning of Siddhi Prapti? It means to get power. A rishi or tapasvi would do yagya or tap to acquire special powers. That's how they could give a boon, could curse, fly, walk on water, change form, and so on. You can call it magical or spiritual powers, something by which you can bend the rules of the world, of nature. So Vishwamitra gets angry when Harishchandra disturbs him, saying he was on the verge of acquiring a great siddh. Do you realize I can destroy you, your family, your kingdom? Vishwamitra demands in fury. Harishchandra pleads for forgiveness and says he'll give him everything he has. Vishwamitra agrees. Harishchandra returns to his palace and continues his life as a king. He forgets about this incident. A few days later, Vishwamitra arrives and asks for his due, reminding Harishchandra of his promise. He says, "You are just a caretaker of this kingdom. Now you can leave it to me." Harishchandra immediately agrees and prepares to leave with his wife and son without their wealth or possessions. They have just the clothes on their back. Vishwamitra stops him and says, "People will think you have given this kingdom to me as a dan. But this is to release you from your sin. So give me dakshina to show that this is not a dan." What is the difference between dan and dakshina? Dan is to give something without expecting anything in return. This brings positive karma and is holy work. Dakshina is fees in return for knowledge or some valuable thing. So Vishwamitra wants to assert that he is not receiving charity and that he is releasing Harishchandra from his sin for which he is giving him a fee. Harishchandra does not have anything left to give a dakshina. Vishwamitra says it is Harishchandra's problem, not his. "Where do I get it from?" wonders Harishchandra. Vishwamitra asks him, "What is of most value to you?" He says, "My body." So Vishwamitra says, "Sell your body then." And Harishchandra does. He does not get much money for it, so he sells his wife, then his son too, and gives all the money to Vishwamitra. Some stories say that Vishwamitra claims this is still not the complete amount and that he have to give him everything he earns as well. But he can't earn because he is a slave now. There was a concept of slavery in Puranic times. In the Harishchandra story, there is a clear mention of a market where people are being traded. Otherwise, you don't find too many references to human trade elsewhere in the Purans. Greek mythology has a story of Hercules. Roman mythology has story of gladiators, which are all about buying and selling slaves. In India, slave trade surely existed but was not as widespread, perhaps, and does not appear as clearly as it does in the Harishchandra story. So he is bought by a Chandal and a Brahmin buys his wife and son. They are thus separated. The story is significant because it describes the caste system as well, the hierarchy at play. A Brahmin is superior, a Chandal is an outcast who lives outside the town, deals with dead bodies. He is the outsider. So, someone who was once a king becomes slave to a Chandal and has to live outside the village. There is an element of tragedy here. Harishchandra works as a dom with him. Dom refers to the person who cremates dead bodies and manages the crematorium. So, this is it for today. I'll continue this part in my next video. Till then, keep listening beautiful stories and keep smiling.